Hello everyone and welcome to another high elo game of Age of Empires. Today we're waiting with bated breath to see whether Chris Nihilus's favorite civilization will redeem itself as we sit down to watch Hera playing as the Incas in blue take on Vivi playing as the Berbers in red. Now all the players herd their herdables, explore their immediate surroundings, make sure you get them, there you go, and try to go up to Feudal Age as fast as possible. Let's take a look at the Civ matchup we'll be watching today. Now, the Incas are what I like to call the quintessential counter civilization. Will your opponent go cavalry? Well, then you can counter them with your first unique unit, the Kamayuk. This is a ranged infantry unit that carries a very, very long spear and comes with a massive attack bonus against cavalry units. Now, will your opponent go infantry? Then you can rely on your other unique unit, the Slinger, an archer unit that comes with a big attack bonus against infantry and which can be upgraded to get a small +1 attack boost. Now, will your opponent go archer units, then you can rely on your Incan skirmishers, which not only come with all archery range, blacksmith, and university upgrades, but can also be upgraded even more to have no minimum range, which does take away one of the most annoying biggest weaknesses of the skirmisher. Now, to make the Incan army even tankier on the battlefield, they can upgrade their Kamayuks, their Slingers, and their Eagle Warriors to all get extra melee and pierce armor. Now, the Incas, to build their military industrial complex as big and as powerful as possible, all of their military units cost less and less food as the game goes on, all the way up to 30% less food in Imperial. They do start the game, if you notice, underneath the town center with a free llama, which doesn't sound like much, but is an extra unit you can scout with, or just an immediate source of 100 food. Their buildings cost 15% less stone, their houses support 10 population space instead of the usual 5, and their villagers become harder to raid and kill because starting in Castle Age, they do benefit from all infantry blacksmith upgrades. And by the way, take a look at the top left of your screen, the Incas get all infantry blacksmith upgrades. Boar does go down, Javelina in this case. Pivoting our mind's eye to the top right of our screen, we see Vivi playing as the Berbers in red, a civ that does whatever it can to push players to the fore, welcoming arms, or should I say legs, of cavalry. All stable units are 15% cheaper in Castle Age, 20% cheaper in Imperial. Their camel units can be upgraded to regenerate health, and their castles can be upgraded to work 25% faster, both of which strongly benefit their first unique unit, the Camel Archer. This is a mounted archer unit with good HP, great speed, and an attack bonus against cavalry archers. So not exactly something I'm expecting to see in this matchup, but always down to be pleasantly surprised. Now in Castle Age, the Berbers can also start training their second unique unit, the Genitor. This is basically a mounted skirmisher, comes with a lot more HP, less range, and does cost a little bit more food because, hey, you gotta feed that horse. Now, to help the Berber economy get up and running as fast as possible, their villagers do move 5% faster in Dark Age. Take a look, 0.84 tiles per second compared to the usual 0.8. And then they move 10% faster in Feudal, Castle, and Imperial. Those are the two civilizations, both players sitting at 16 villagers, both going up to 17, 18. Both look like they are pushing their animals. And we'll see who is first to move out onto the map as Vivi attacks, angers, puts up a red cape in front of another Javelina just to get it to come under the town center, pounces. Ooh, a little bit away from the town center. Not the cleanest of pulls for Vivi, but food is food. Loom being researched for our Incas. Let's take a look while the players continue establishing themselves and gathering their sources of food, depopulating the entire animal population around their base. Primary gold, nice and safe for Vivi. Primary stone, oh man, this might be one of the most annoying locations for a patch of resources we've seen in a long time as Hera, oh my goodness, cock of the walk over here. I don't know, was he not paying attention? His eagle takes a lot of damage and is probably going to die. I shouldn't say probably, I mean, he takes the high ground. Vivi, I don't think he even really needed the high ground there. Hera, uncharacteristic. I mean, he discovered where his opponent is, but he paid the price for it. Is going to go up to Feudal about 20 seconds ahead of his opponent. As I was saying, how annoying is this stone? Nowhere to put a town center anywhere nearby. I guess you could put a mining camp here, maybe here. I'm not too sure. Yeah, it looks like there's a 2x2 tile space right here, but still incredibly annoying. Additional resources in the back and side positions. Vivi comfortable now to push a few more deer before he moves out onto the map. And then a third pile of gold very much in the middle of the map here for our Berber. Let's pivot south where Hera has already amassed 3 militiamen moving forward in 20 seconds. Probably men-at-arms. We'll see. Barracks in an interesting location for Hera. Primary gold, primary stone, nice and secure in the backwards position. Additional resource, not too far off campus. Not too far at all. Yeah, immediately. Oh no, look at that. He canceled it. Okay. Our Inca decided to cancel. He did click it. Forests, pretty interesting locations. Entire eastern perimeter, not easy to wall off, but the forward, a bit easier now that he's placing an archery range here. We'll see if he uses the gold pile to help out. And Vivi just doing kind of a half a wall off here, the backwards half of his base with a few palisades, houses, and now a stable, because of course this is the Berber we're talking about. Hera opting to go for upgrades on his lumberjacks. Not too sure what he thinks he can get done here with 3 militias. I mean, he doesn't know what we know, that Vivi has already walled this entire area off. Unfortunately for Vivi, he's walled himself in and off, but there's only one source of lumber, of wood for him at the moment. Not that he's in any kind of risk of running out of this wood. There's a lot of wood here, plus no archers. Okay, right as I say that, Hera does start mixing in archers. Is that what the blue dot here is? No, this is a spearman. He knows who he's playing against. He knows he's going up against the Berber, who reveals the scout. The spearman a little bit too slow to react, even though he's got a long ass stick. And Hera being annoying, he knows that he can draw out a little bit of idle time. So he moves these militiamen just within the radius of the town center. Takes a little bit of damage. Nothing, though, too major to write home about. Our Berber moving out. Our Inca already moved out. So we're going to see a nice little back and forth here. Hera making no attempt to wall off his base. 0, literally. Archers still in the archery range. Army count 7 to 4. Villager population identical. Not really expecting any of these armies to get much done. But if I had to, if I was a gambling man, and I definitely am a gambling man, I would say probably more likely to get some damage with 4 scouts than you are with these units that can easily be handled by a few villagers. Although scouts, not exactly the tankiest of units at the moment. Hera is housed at 35. Is he building another house? No, he is not. Oh no, never mind. He right as I finished that sentence, or maybe right as I started that sentence, he built a house. Remember, those houses carry 10 population space, which means he doesn't really need to build too many of them. Frees up a little bit of wood in these early stages of the game where you see Hera has below 100 wood. Spearman down, a second one moves forward. Man, oh man, is he being annoying while this one house being repaired by a villager here. Its HP is actually going up, even though there's synchronized attacks on it. Oh, I love to see this. Oh man, I like. Am I the only one that likes to see that? Am I like harping on that a little bit too much? Archers moving forward, but no upgrades on them whatsoever means that they are stuck at 4 range and attack as these Berbers put on a little bit of a show here, trotting their horses around this little forest. Might want to get your butts into battle and get some damage done. Your opponent is now bringing archers. You can no longer repair this house, but what you can do is build a house behind it in this little alleyway between the barracks and the stables. Vivi sees 2 spearmen, decides to back out. Might want to take these spearmen on. Who's kidding who? Looks like he lost a few units here, did our red Berber. Kill count, though, he is very much in the lead. I mean, you can take 1 on at a time, micro the weakest one who gets attacked, but taking on 2 at a time is definitely a recipe for disaster. Skirmishers moving in here. Not too sure why they're getting in so up close and personal. They are getting very close. They do not want these archers to run away, so they are risking their lives so that these archers cannot run away too quickly. Okay, players disengage. Vivi continues to lead in the kill count. But look at Hera, unperturbed, just mining. Oh no, wall yourself off. This is going to be potentially 1 or maybe even 2 dead villagers here. No, never mind. Instead, it's a dead spearman. 2 dead spears. And this is what I'm talking about. You can take these spearmen on 1 at a time, even though you're going to take a look at the HP on these units. A lot of damage, but you can always micro the 1 injured one. You know, the scout that the spearman is attacking. 1 kill for them. What was it? Looks like the men-at-arms are no longer with us. Neither is the spearman here. But against 2 or more spearmen, you cannot engage because, I mean, you can if you think your micro is powerful enough, but Looks like Vivi thinks that his is not, and so backs away with his scouts, but being annoying, popping in and out, like a jack-in-the-box at the most inopportune moment. We'll see right as Hera moves out. I mean, he brought back his archers, but right as he moves out, oh man, more and more. Hera, 3 spearmen, 1 here, 1 making his way over underneath the mill. Okay, so Hera's shooed this away, but oh, little does he know. He's shooing them away straight into the javelins of these skirmishers. The question is, does he care? He's moving in with eagles, archers. This is an army that can take on skirmishers. Not that our Berber has any army at home. Not a single army, but who's kidding who? What the heck can Hera do here with this army? I mean, he can get 1, 2, 3 villagers to go off their farms and maybe move backwards. Oh, look at this. He can get this wood line. And look how dangerous this is. This is where it becomes very, very dangerous. You cannot micro all of your units all at once. And so that wood line is very exposed. We'll keep an eye on the minimap and see if Hera heads north with his archers. Because if he does, that might be very problematic for our Berber. That is his only source of lumber. I mean, Hera must have seen this, no? Yeah, he's seen it. I wonder why he's not moving forward with his archers. They do have +1 attack and range. He is going up to Castle Age as our Inca. Slow moving army tethered to one another as they go where no one knows. What are you building behind this? A market, a house. Our Berber needs to get up to Castle Age. I was gonna say he's got to buy some resources, and then I remembered, hey, didn't you just see him building a market? So you know he doesn't have one unless he's building multiple markets. Not exactly a Saracen discount over here. He's probably, no, I didn't see him quote unquote balancing his economy. So he reached 800 food naturally and now is clicking up to castle, though a full minute behind his opponent. Hera missed opportunity here. If he had gotten those villagers, where can Vivi take lumber? Where can he get wood? Nowhere. And I think Vivi knows it, and I think that's why he's heading home, because he realizes just how what's the word I'm looking for? Exposed his position is. Oh, the archers. Oh, the scout. Don't lead them. I'm going to stop starting all my sentences with oh, because it sounds kind of pervy. Oh, here we go. And then right as I say that, I start the next sentence. Okay, lose all the skirmishers. Who cares? You are getting a good amount of archer kills right now. In exchange for a few trash units. Never bad idea to waste a gold unit. Let's see what our Inca does once he hits Castle Age. What is he doing? Okay, archers to crossbows. Crossbows upgraded with Bodkin, so +1 attack and range. He's got 9 archers. How many in the forward position? All of them are in the forward position. Not paying attention, attacking a farm. He loses an archer, another one. Okay, so Hera now still has 30 seconds before his opponent hits the next age. His crossbows will have an opportunity here. I think now they can take on these skirmishers, especially with the eagles to zone them out. And this is the moment Vivi takes a half-health scout and pushes in. Maybe probably just for scouting. 7 eagles on the menu for our Inca, but our Berber just hit castle as well. And this is where the Berbers are going to get very dangerous. Very dangerous as knights start coming out. I mean, 8 crossbows, 6 eagles. The eagles are scouts. They come with no attack bonus against... Oh, wait a second. No, sorry, they're in Castle Age. I forgot. Yeah. So a meager +2 attack bonus against cavalry. Not the greatest. And he sees the knights coming out, and the knights are going straight for Hera's base. I think Hera is probably banking on the fact that, hey, there's not really going to be much that... Or Vivi, rather, banking that Hera not going to accomplish much here. I mean, he's been in this forward position for the last 6 or 7 minutes, and he's managed to kill a few skirmishers, depopulate some farms, and now this wood line is, I want to say secure, but man, oh man. Look, I don't think our Berber really needs a lot of wood. That's why he's only got 7 villagers, jack and lumber. But you might want to increase that number. Now it's only 5 on lumber. You definitely need food, and for food you need farms, and for farms you definitely need wood. The intricacies, the interconnectedness of Age of Empires here. Both 13 villagers on gold, both no villagers on stone. 2 town centers apiece. Hera spent a little bit of his stone we saw on this tower here, and now his knights come in. The wall-off attempt fails miserably, and he's got to evac out of here with all these villagers. We'll see if any of them actually die. Oh, look at that. One of them does die. Or was that 2? No, just the 1. But the monk singular is here, meaning the knights, plural, have to get the hell out of here. And Hera returning home with his army. Again, missed opportunity there. I really do wonder why he didn't attack into the forest there. Maybe he just wanted to bide his time to get up to Castle Age. The question is for what? 3 monks, eagles. So he's building an army that he believes will counter knights who now have husbandry, and our Berber is just doubling down on knights. So we'll see who's we'll see whose gambit works here. The Incan gambit or the Berber gambit. Oh man, monk dies to the south. It might be difficult for our Inca to deal with the mobility of the Berbers. And like I said, they are countering cavalry with their Kamayuks, but it's the standard typical problem in Age of Empires when you're relying on a unit that's being built or trained rather out of a castle. It is never good. You're never going to be able to, I mean, unless you mine 5,000 stone or 2 or 3, 4, 5,000 stone and plop down a bunch of castles, you're never going to be able to match the output of a generic military structure like an archery range, a barracks, a stable, even a siege workshop. That being said, Hera, 0 villagers on stone, 16 stone in total. I don't know why the hell I'm talking about Kamayuks, who looks like his scout tried to penetrate, tried to get to the monk, but enough crossbows zoned them out. And this is, again, where it gets problematic. Right now, Hera is doing a good job. Why? Because Vivi has his entire army clumped in one location. Imagine now, Hera sends 5 knights to the north into this town center. Or rather, Vivi sends them. Hera will not be able to respond in time. The Eagles right now are still scouts moving at a snail's pace compared to what they could be moving at. And Vivi taking some pretty bad engages here. Loses a knight to a conversion and then kills that converted knight. I mean, you've got husbandry, you've got mobility. Oh, look at the HP. Oh, man, 3 of these knights, 4 of them are basically about to die. He needs to get the hell out of here. He needs a few monks of his own. No relics for any player. Another stable, and this is what I'm talking about. It is hard to match the production output of generic military buildings with a castle. Ooh, look at that. Hera finally does have 1 villager on stone, although right as he approaches that stone pile, maybe he doesn't want to tangle with this jaguar. Where is he going? Now he's got 4 villagers on stone. Okay, I guess they're all in the back here. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Oh my god, how lucky is this pathing for our Berber? Just happens to stumble upon a villager building an outpost. Wow. That is pretty fortuitous. Not gonna lie. Relic being picked up by the monk, defying the laws of physics with his faith as he carries this massive man. His back must hurt. I have trouble picking up a baby that weighs 15 pounds. That relic must weigh at least 70 or 80. Or for those of you of the European nationalities, what is that? 30 kilos? 35 kilos? Whatever 70 or 80 is divided by 2.2, that is how much a relic weighs. Believe me, you don't have to double check. Ooh, speaking of fortuitous timing, it is now the turn of our Inca to stumble upon a dead villager and 2 more potentially dead villagers. Third one, he was approaching and then just backs away. How much healing has been done? Not much. Not terrible, but not much. Light cav continuing to circle the back here. 1 whack, 2 whack is all it takes to kill a monk. 3 monks die, but not before 3 knights get converted. Oh my god. I don't know who wins that trade. 3 monks for 3 knights? That's a lot more resources on the knight side. And oh, oh no. Okay, 1 more conversion. 1 more conversion. 5 knights get converted for 5 monks. These are not Schlachten. What the hell was that villager doing there? These are not Polish knights that are 30 gold. These are full cost minus 15% because we are in Castle Age and we are watching the Berbers. And look at that, look at that, look at that. Decides to delete them. Does Hera, says, nah, you're not getting your knights back. You are definitely not getting your knights back. Villager will get poked and prodded, slowly being beaten to death by a silk shoelace, to borrow a Terry Pratchett quote. And looks, oh, I love when they grab their throats like they've been killed as they die. Looks like our Berber. Enough is enough, says Vivi. He is supply blocked. He is housed at 115. Hera's got a lot of population space, about 42, but he is also at around the same population. And our Berber gets caught out. Hera discovers this. Will he continue going for this castle? I mean, it's a pretty amazing location for a castle. Getting this secondary gold pile, but the the mangonel. Oh, the mangonel. The mangonel's doing more bad than good. 2 kills, probably both of them. No, only one of them friendly fire. And look at the conversions on the eagles. Hera gets cleaned up, and now there's nothing to stop these villagers. 12 of them. Yikes. Okay, Hera is in a spot of trouble. Immediately clicks up to Imperial. Immediately puts down a castle. Immediately, how many? 18 villagers. But the Berber castle is here. We'll see what trains out of it. Might not be a bad time to take your opponent's gold. Knights are now raiding the west. What's down here? It looks like knights are trying to take out this tower. Will they notice the spearmen? Of course they do. They get the spearmen, go back to the castle, the tower. No, never mind. Will one of them die? Will one of them die? Oh, the tower got just the tip. Town center will go down. Okay, you know what? Now he's using these villagers to get more wood. And all of a sudden, our Berber also heading up to Imperial with 32 villagers on wood. So he has made amazing progress in the wood department. I would have maybe wanted to see the... Oh, did he forget to build a lumber camp? Or is this part of the plan that he wants to evac these villagers? Because that is pretty damn boss move there out of Vivi to evac them when they're carrying lumber. Use them first to get a few resources and then send them home with a whole bunch of wood in their hands. 130 wood to be specific, to be exact. Almost enough to build another structure. But begins the Mangonel Wars do... Oh, that was a terrible... I was trying to do Yoda. Begun have the Mango Wars. Another castle for our Berber. And the villagers are coming back. they didn't even drop off all their wood. That is hilarious. That is hilarious. I say hilarious. It's not great. Not the greatest micro of the villagers, but let's see what Hera can do here. His army count is not that terrible. His villager count not that far behind. His units do cost less and less food now. 30% less food. He's going pikemen. Why? Not terrible. Not terrible out of the Incas to go for the pikemen. Crossbows are still here. How many kills do they have? 6 only. So not the greatest, most effective crossbows. Another castle for our Inca. Where is his Treb? He is finally training one probably out of this castle. Yeah, there it is. And let's zoom out and see what the heck is going on. Mangonel and Castle pushing into another town center. Hera trying to get this castle up. Will it go up? This is a lot of cavalry here trying to stop these villagers. They will not stop the first attempt, but the castle's only halfway done. Okay, never mind. With the town center as well, Hera has enough firepower here, enough arrows to make these knights think twice. And okay, cocky ram tried to make its way in there, got damaged by a pikeman. And now Hera replies with his Treb. 2 more building. One over here. It's got to be one over here. Yeah, one over here, but counter Trebs are being trained. Oh, here we go. The Mangonel trying to come in. You're just a Mangonel. The villagers sacrificing their lives here. I get everything wrong. Oh my goodness. Hera trying to pull a Viper and stop this red incursion from having access to these Trebs, and he does exactly that. I'm sure there was an easier way to say that. A 3rd castle up. My goodness, I'm going to zoom out. Look at Hera's base. There's nowhere he can move out in the forward position that's not being guarded by a Berber castle. Oh, the knights, what a disaster. They're now cavaliers, though. They are now cavaliers. Hera doesn't have the resources to deal with cavaliers. Upgrades not the greatest. Tell me you're not researching conscription out of here. Oh, the worst location to research conscription. Take your time training, says Vivi, as the castle researching conscription falls. But another castle immediately replaces it. 17 villagers on stone to 12, but Hera's secondary stone pile has now been lamed. No more access to it. No stone for you, says Vivi, as he now takes down another town center. What is this? 3 town centers that he's taken down? Population, he is now ahead, 34% bigger economy, although his army is smaller. Hera tries to chase a Treb, but not much these pikemen are going to be able to do in lieu of a castle or in sight of the castle. Cavaliers rush in. They absolutely get slaughtered by the pikemen. Now, unfortunately, these are not pike that have any kind of special features except the cheaper price, which I guess in and of itself is a special feature. 3 Trebs begin their bombardment of the new center castle. This castle will fall, so Hera doing an amazing job here. And now that the castle's fallen, the pikemen are free to come in. I guess take a smoke break. And that's it. 4 Trebs are going to collapse. Maybe 5. Was that one that collapsed here right before? Were there 2 Trebs here? He asks the audience. Cavaliers now beginning their raiding. Okay, padded archer armor he's getting. Okay, the west secured by our Inca. The center, no one knows what's happening here. This is a dead man zone. This and now he's tiefing the gold, which I think he probably should have done about 10 minutes ago. What are the Treb counts? And he's going up to halberdiers. Oh goodness gracious, 3 Trebs to 4 Trebs and a bombard cannon. Look at the army count, 58 to 23. And our Berber doing a fantastic maneuver here, adding hand cannoneers, knowing that his opponent has gone full on halberdier. Pivots, pulls the halberdiers out of position, moves in to do some raiding to the west, raiding to the south. We'll keep an eye on that with picture in picture, but for now the halberdiers are swarming. They do get 1 Treb, they do get a 2nd Treb. What are their attack upgrades? Only at a +1. They will get a 3rd. Will they get a 4th? Probably not. And now Hera's turn to lose Trebs as he slaughters these. Oh my god, these Cavaliers. They are just not finding any kind of longevity. They spawn, they raid, and they die immediately. What's inside of here? Villagers. Cavalier gets converted. Tower takes tower. A castle picks away at its HP. Oh, and now Hera using the converted Cavalier, throwing him at the bombard cannon. Will he get it? Will he get it? Looks like yes, maybe no. What an absolute confusing set of small minor engages. I love it. You know, yesterday's game, we saw the Viper and MBL building up to one big cataclysmic engage. This is also a lot of fun with a lot of small minor engages. We'll see who comes out on top. Hera's army count has been knocked down. It's now basically the same as our Berbers, but it's halberdiers and crossbows against Cavaliers, and Hera barely has any resources. I mean, he's got more gold than his opponent, but where? Let's see where his gold is. So he's got 2 patches here with 600 gold. Looks like he's got a patch. Where is it? Somewhere here. Oh man, why am I am having a lot of there it is. 600. Okay, 677. Okay, so about 700-ish gold. He's lost control of this 3,000 patch of gold, and now his infantry are going to be basically useless against the hand cannoneers with, as I love pointing out, come with a +10 attack bonus against all manner of infantry. And even though he's managed to stop these Cavaliers for now, there are bombards, there are Cavaliers, there are hand cannoneers, and our Berber just overwhelms. Our Inca has nothing except converted Cavaliers. He lost all of his monks, all dead in a pile over here. And so now he's lost his 2nd last Treb. I guess this is the one that's fallen because I can't click on it. And now a last Treb is going to go down. He doesn't have, I mean, he barely has enough resources to train 2 more if he ignores any other kind of unit. But look at Hera's resources. Wow. Chris, you wanted to see a Berber win. You got a Berber win. Now, maybe not with camel archers. Actually, we didn't really see unique units out of either player. We saw 1 camel archer that popped out of here randomly. We didn't see any Kameyuks. We didn't see any slingers. We just saw a good old-fashioned clean battle out of both of them. And Vivi just building an army that was just too powerful for Hera. And even though, look at Hera, fantastic expansion all over the place. His base, I mean, I say fantastic expansion all over the place, but that's comes with a negative. How is he going to defend this area against Trebs. He's got no military structures here. He's got a few barracks. How's he going to defend over here? He's got archery ranges, but he doesn't have any centralized location, and he doesn't have cavalry. He doesn't have fast-moving units. His fastest-moving unit, the Eagles, are nowhere to be seen, nowhere to be trained. He had not upgraded them from scouts. Let's take a look at the numbers. 69 halberdiers. For the majority of the game, they were probably pikemen. Cavaliers, majority of the game, they were cavaliers. Peak APM, middle of the game, middle end for Vivi. Peak APM, oh, okay, interesting. Roughly at the same time, about a minute and a half apart. For Hera, his usual 200 to 300. How much bigger do we think the Berber economy was? Okay, not that terrible, about 10 to 15%. 3 relics to 1, so he did get 800 more gold. More wood here for our Inca. I mentioned this from the very beginning, that the Berber with the wood in the beginning of the game was very, very, very risky for Vivi there. And then the other 3 resources. Okay, 1,500 stone extra, has 2 extra castles. No wonder he could replace his castle so easily. 2,500 extra gold and about 5,000 more food. Now remember, this is before Hussars start kicking in. And once Hussars start kicking in out of the Berbers, man, at 20% off, they are just absolutely badass. And I think Hera knows that he knows what's coming. And so he decides to tap out. Let's see how many stables, by the way. Only 5 stables. So the military infrastructure, not the greatest for Vivi, but I don't think at this point he was going for quantity. I think he was going for quality. Again, hand cannoneers, cavaliers, trebs, bombard cannons. These are units that are not cheap, cannot be very aggregated very quickly because they're so expensive, especially not when you only have 2 archery ranges in the forward position. But again, it's good enough to beat whatever Hera has, which is a bunch of crossbows from the Castle Age, some halberdiers, which are absolutely going to follow these hand cannoneers and are immobile AF. And that's basically all he has. 1 converted cavalier trying to defend the Treb right as it falls, sword raised high to the sky as he is about to die. We saw the relics 3 to 1. Where is the last relic, by the way? Why am I missing? Okay, it's right here behind the mill. I was going to say, why am I missing all of these? I couldn't see the gold. I couldn't see the relic. And again, I think Hera, just not to harp on it for the 9th or 10th time, I think he missed an opportunity here. I wonder what would have happened if his archer contingent in Feudal Age and I guess in Early Castle pivoted here. Because he did have that 1 minute lead. He had 30 seconds in Early Castle where Vivi was in Feudal and Hera had crossbows. If he could push Vivi off of this wood, would Vivi have had enough to build a second town center? I don't know. He may have had to buy wood. He may have had to bust through his own palisade walls to go over here like he has now, except instead of gold, probably go after the wood. But man, was that a risky move for our Berber to wall himself only halfway in the back position and not wall off the forward part of his base. Because, yeah, if Hera had caught wind of that, the pressure would have been applied. But that is neither here nor there in the world we live in. It is our Berber who overwhelms the Inca with the about as powerful units as you can get from the Berber. Again, bombard cannons, hand cannoneers, cavaliers. They don't get paladins, so Cavalier is about as good as it gets, and even though it's missing Blast Furnace, it is enough to get the job done, especially against crossbows, even though they're at a +3. I mean, this is still a Castle Age unit against an Imperial Age unit, so not expecting much longevity, and Hera's resources are not much to write home about. No more stone for him, loses control of the gold, and he knows, even if he holds, the Hussars are coming next, and even if not Hussars, even more tanky units, even more trebuchets, even more bombard cannons, and Hera, seeing 5 steps ahead, realizes he doesn't have a chance, lives to fight another day, taps out. Vivi gets the W. Chris, the Berbers 1-1, but GG to both players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.